And we are live. Continuing on our Band of Poachers run, day 88. We have crossed the midpoint. Well crossed the midpoint, in fact. We've got a very established team. We're picking up veteran levels. We are doing great. In fact, yeah, we're nearly to level 11 on everyone. So, let's talk a bit about the plan. Two major things I want to do before Black Monolith. I think in this particular run, we are going to be able to do Black Monolith very safely well before day 150. I don't know exactly when. And maybe well before is a bit extreme. It'll be, you know, a lot of the runs I end closer to day 145, something like that. This one I have a feeling will go before then. So I'm thinking that I'm ready to take on the Sunken Library. The bros are ready, but what we need are man's best friend. Excuse me. So, we're gonna pick up some doggos. And we're gonna be able to do that here in Wolf's Wall. We do have a contract here to deliver cargo to Tiefenstadt, here to the east. I guess we'll do that while we're traveling there. We'll maybe bust some nomad camps if they've repopulated in this area, I suppose. We'll traipse through the desert in any case. Go to Tiefenstadt, deliver that cargo, whatever that is. And then maybe do a little bit of camp busting here east of Wolf's Wall. You know, we'll take some more fights just to get a little bit more experience on a few of the bros. But then I think we're basically ready. We'll want to get reach weapons on the Spear Duelists, ideally. And so what I might end up doing is sort of passing the reach weapons from the gunners to the pockets of the duelists. And then we'll give the gunners our throwing axes, and they will be the ones who will take out the phylacteries. That's loosely what I'm thinking the game plan for that particular fight will be. So, as described, we'll start out by accepting this contract and heading to the east. I've got a sparkling water here. Sorry if that was really loud. What in the world? Well, that sucks. One of the downsides to having rat catchers in your party is that they do have a decent number of not so great events that they can proc. Is what it is, I guess. All right, I think we simply run forward to blast them with the guns. We'll move everyone all the way forward. I think that'll be... Oops, no, I clicked that button too early. Whoops. I just ended Eagledub's turn way in the back there, because I didn't confirm the movement that I tried to do. What a fool. Ooh, disarmed. Which arm? Disarm. But he's got quick hands, so we don't care. Chonked him. Would have been nice to have that guy a little further forward. But what you gonna do, you know? I had a very spicy meal, intentionally, of my own accord. I did it to myself, but now my throat is a little, letting me know. You added too many jalapenos to the meal. Or did I? I suppose it's a matter of opinion. Despite the nomads having dodge, we've got some pretty good bros now and some very accurate weapons. So we're not really missing very frequently, which is kind of nice. Run them down. We'll try to take them all out. It's the right thing to do. And we'll try to get dogs to chase down those that might attempt to still flee. Like that guy. XJI8, still not feeling too well. The poor guy's sick. Eating rats. Alright. Real question, is rat meat edible? I suppose it probably is. Maybe you wouldn't want to eat it, but it is, I'm sure, edible. So, the spear duelists, I mentioned giving them reach weapons to deal with the skulls. Scratch that. I'll give them whips. That just makes more sense, right? I think so. Yeah. Whips, I think, will be much better for them to whip crack the skulls right out of the air. Let's see, can I reach that easily? I can. I may as well do this camp too. While we're here, we'll take on as many nomads as we can find. And we're still looking, you know, passively whenever the opportunity arises to complete our ambition, fighting a mercenary, enemy mercenary group. We just haven't seen one. At least not one that is under the employ of a noble house that we're happy to be down and dirty with. Nice shot, Akivio. Should get some good handgun blasts at the start of next round as well. Probably? We'll see. Certainly, that one will be good. Nixlarf's rarely fails to deliver. He's got some good ranged attack and does a excellent job of taking the nomads right out. We'll go ahead and spear wall up. None of them can make it into melee contact with us now. Even with dodge, they can't dodge a spear, apparently. But they can dodge a javelin. Whoops! Whoa. Accidentally blasted Manifest Destiny's Child. Whoopsie. That wasn't wasn't what I intended. Alright, we will need to be mindful of his armor state and hit point values. Don't want him to take too much damage after all. As soon as I mocked them for not being able to dodge things, I've noticed that they're dodging things. Kinda rude. But looks like Fearsome is doing its work. You love to see it. They are now all fleeing. And so, we have nothing to do but run them down. Hopefully before they turn into zombies, because then we have real enemies to face. That's the other downside to the Undead Crisis, is when you say, you know, I'd like to run the enemies down at the end. They can still spawn as zombies, and thus, I guess technically speaking, present a threat that can still do damage to you before the battle ends. Rare though it may be. Alright. Another pack of nomads bites the dust. We got a veteran level on Friso. God, he's good. So good. What's the most important stat for us? Maybe just hit points. I think with Iron Lungs, we don't have to concern ourselves with his fatigue, and I think his resolve's at a good spot now after getting the Arena Fighter. Maybe we could still pump it up. It is the Noxair trophy necklace doing some of the work there. XGI 8. Boom. He has hit level 11, and so what do we do with him? Currently 6, so his stats look worse than they really are. What do we take here? I'm definitely going to take bags. Bags and belts is going to provide so much value here as a thrower. I think I'd previously mentioned, you know, a few different options that I could go with them. Let's go with bags. And I need to ask myself the honest question of whether this bow is worth using, sufficiently worth using, maybe. If I put him here, Is bow mastery even worth considering? I don't think in this entire run series I have taken bow mastery on a single bro. We've got a pretty decent named bow here. So, to level set a little bit, this is a reinforced boondock bow, a goblin bow, which is worse than the war bow equivalent. However, not substantially worse. The damage is still a bit lower. I can't remember a war bow off the top of my head because I kind of ignore them. I should at least know that. War bow is 50 to 70. Yeah, 50 to 70 damage with 35% armor ignore. So this is going to be better as far as damage through armor, which is realistically what we care about much of the time. But the weapon skills building up less fatigue is like genuinely kinda nice. Especially when we consider quick shot. That said, we still get pretty good value from fast adaptation or gifted or fearsome, and that will apply to all weapons, including the weapons that are frankly more relevant. I even could take a defensive perk. Like I could take Colossus and give him a bit more survivability on the battlefield, and that wouldn't be bad. It really wouldn't. Gifted could also be viewed, at least partially, as a defensive perk, because one of the roles would go into something defensive. Decisions. I'm half tempted to take bow mastery. I really am. I could put a helmet like this on, and oh yeah, he's sick. That's reducing his vision. His normal attack / viewing range would be 7 if you weren't sick, giving -2 vision here. It's tempting. It is tempting to take bow mastery just purely because where he's currently sitting in the formation, enemies just simply cannot resist attacking clumps where the scatter can provide value against somebody with that they consider a true ranged character. And also a bro with the perk Rally the Troops. So, your banner, typically. Let's do it. You know, the others are adding small enough amounts of value. Let's do it. Let's get bow mastery. First time in the run series. I talk a big, I talk smack about bows for good reason. They are kind of bad. They are genuinely really quite bad. This bow is, so notably, it went from 13 fatigue for a quick shot down to 10, which is, a good bit more manageable as far as fatigue buildup, with aim shot taking up a mere 14. Comparing that to the javelin throw of 12. So there could be situations where we can quick shot when we don't have quite enough fatigue to throw a javelin. Could happen. We'd be on the lookout for a even better bow. We may be able to find one potentially from a goblin. Could happen. But it could also just be a named warbow. They do drop. It is a thing. Lindworms, 3 of them. Interesting. What do I have for reach weapons currently that I'm hanging on to? I've got all the handguns. So I want these 3 spear duelists to be able to participate. We've got a pole mace, got a bill hook, and I guess the 2 whips. The whips are pretty bad, but they're not nothing. So we'd put Blackfire and Alpha sort of tanking the front, and then we'd want to make sure that we get the Lindworms positioned such that the gunners can blast away. I think that's how we'd want to do it. So let's look at how we can set that up. You just clicked again. Please say it's not 5. Oh, that's very, very good timing. Thetica Crasia? Boy, I apologize for the butchering. The Ticka Crasia? The Ticka Crasia? The Tick Acrasia? Anyway. Yeah, we got some Lindworms here. We have a pretty bad configuration for fighting them. Thetic Acrasia. Okay. Is thetic a word I should know? That sounds like a fun word. Of, bearing, or relating to a metrical stress. Ironic that I was unable to put stress on the right syllables then. Incredible. It's an old band name, no worries. Okay, gotcha. The irony of not being able to put stress or find out where the word parsings were, given the definition of that word, is very funny to me. So yeah, the whips will be bad. They'll only really be relevant once the enemies have been, blasted through. But that's okay. They'll still do something. The guns will be doing the lion's share of the work. And so actually, then now that I say that out loud, realizing now the guns are going to be, well, gunning. So why don't I do something a bit more like this? I think this will be better. Yeah. All right. And is there anything else I want to do before fighting these poor Lindworms? I don't think so. Let's just take them out. So the key for this fight is just going to be to get them positioned where I can get as much AoE damage with the guns as possible, tying them up with Blackfire and Alpha. So, Lindworms. They are, I had to look it up just super quick to double check myself, but unlike the typical enemy with 9 AP, they have 7. But their tail moves in a way where it can sort of skip ahead of them, so it's something to keep in mind. But the Lindworm can only move 3 hexes. So that's the big takeaway. So what I'm going to do here is we're going to back everyone up to this row behind, except for the 2 tanks, is kind of what I'm thinking. In fact, the ones at the very flank we can still kind of keep in a shape where they can sort of blast. So like we'll move Sir Humpert here. And then these guys will all back up as well. And we can leave Blackfire and Offa kind of where they are. We'll move Manifest Destiny's Child here maybe? Let's take a look at the terrain. Okay. Move Offa like there. Larfs maybe there. Final Overdrive here. And do I want to move Friso? Can maybe stay there. Okay. So we'll let them move forward. Again, we want them to be somewhat clumped. This is okay. This is okay positioning. Yeah, this positioning is okay. So I think they'll probably always take their Gorge attack, if they're able, 4 AP attack. So these can move forward and attack next turn if I leave these targets where they are. And I guess I will. And then they'll move the tails forward. So I suppose I stay where I am. And I accept just an okay place to blast for this turn. And only on the top row. So we're going to shield wall. And probably also just attack like that with Nyx Larfs. I don't really want Sir Humpert to get attacked, so I don't want to move him forward. Friso would be fine to have be attacked, but not great. So we'll go ahead and just push him forward. Move Manifest Destiny's Child up just 1. I think we'll want to blast through as much armor as possible, so we'll use the throwing axes there. If a Kibio were to get hit, would it be that bad? Not really. But we can still move him here. And he's still safe from attacks. We're kind of making a shape where this Lindworm is very inclined to move forward to here and take the 1 attack he can, and then the tail will follow shortly after. That's what I'm thinking. So we could move Eagledub up and do this attack, because if he stands here, if they do what I expect them to, then he can stay at this hex and probably have a good gun blast next turn. We'll see if they do what I'm expecting. And I guess I'll pull out the whip in case I want to do whipping attacks later. I actually might. So we're gonna wait on basically everyone. Friso can attack and move up. Oh, they pushed way further forward. Okay. That works? Question mark? So it's a somewhat awkward shape for a Kibio to blast from above. If you go from behind, it goes down a hex. So if he went here, he could blast there and hit these three. That's really awkward, but sure. Never trust a Lindworm? Yeah, no kidding. Also, hello, Coldoge. Coldog? Boy, what was it? You even said it, and I don't remember. I'm a bad human. Alright, we're going to strip off more armor there, I think. EELI, I think, will do the reach attack here. Definitely going to shield wall back up there. And here. Nyxlarfs, I feel, is pretty important to get in a really good spot for next turn, so we can make sure we're applying Overwhelm. This looks so scary. I think we're okay. I think we're okay. So we can do here, and then Final Overdrive can make a spot for him to attack next turn that's a little better. So we'll attack here and reload. Reload! So Final Overdrive can go like here, for example. You'd prefer to fight the snakes one by one, not all at once? I kind of prefer to fight them all at once, where I can get optimal debuffs and AoE damage on them. Now I could throw a Daze Pot. Probably not a terrible idea. A Flash Pot. I like it. Okay. We'll need to be mindful of XJ8's hit points. He's got 9 lives, so, you know. He'll be okay. However, let's see. EELI, I could let him just start eating the Lindworm debuff, and that would probably be okay. So let's just do that. And we can move him here, or even here, if we wanted. And then he's safe from any further attacks. Let's do that, just so he doesn't sustain any injuries. Okay, we're out of shield walls there on Blackfire. Okay, again, apply Overwhelm to them so that they miss. Because if they don't hit you, you don't take any damage. We've got a smoke pot if we were to need it. One Lindworm down. And we got some scales. Very nice. Apologies to Alpha for shooting him a little. Could even put a dog down. I think at this point that's fine. I don't think this guy will possibly finish off that dog. arm down. And then just a bunch of missing. Okay. I think we're pretty much set. They should, fingers crossed, die before even getting another turn in. I think that's probably true. If it's not, then boy did I miss a lot of attacks. All right. That was squeaky clean. We got 2 Lindworm Scales, and so if I'm able to fight some unholds, then I can craft the Lindworm Cloak, which is kind of a nice armor attachment, at least for the high hit points brothers. Any that have lower hit points, I think we'd rather have the additional fur padding. In fact, probably generically, it's true that I'd rather have additional fur padding, but we're taking what we can get, you know. Hey, thank you, Thetic Acrasia. There it is. It took me a hot minute. So we'll put some of these weapons back. Let's see, where did... I think I had that there and this equipped, something like that. Okay. And unfortunately, the Lindworm Blood is a little bit... It's a little bit like the Fire Pot in that you can just... Well, no, I guess it's a little different. It's similar in that it's also useless, but... the corrosive whatever, throwing acid flask or whatever, is mildly useful against like Kraken. And that's about it. So I'll probably just sell the Lindworm Blood. Manifest Destiny's Child has completed his final level up. And let's give him, let's see, Resolve or Fatigue? Resolve or Fatigue? I feel like I could go either way here. Let's go with Resolve. So we've got slightly different flavors on each of these spear duelists. It turns out I've kind of liked Berserk. Found it kind of handy. I could go with a weapon mastery of some kind. If I did choose a weapon mastery, that would make the Berserk procs a bit more tolerable when we're using something other than the spear. We've already got Mace and Cleaver. We're kind of sitting on a similar situation with Sir Humpert, only he's got Killing Frenzy instead of Berserk. But I found that I really liked Berserk actually, so I might take Berserk on Sir Humpert and say, well, for whatever his backup weapon is, he just doesn't get mastery, which is fine. With a lot of them, it kind of doesn't matter. For example, Sword Mastery, we're primarily going to be using the primary attack. We probably wouldn't do that on Sir Humpert, but, you know, it's something we could do. I might just chill still on these, just for now. Just see if we find any named weapons. Or, you know, actually, that's not even true. I could probably do sword mastery on one of them. Again, you know, we're sort of hedging our bets against named items that we find to have a place to use them with our current squad. That's kind of the idea. That's the thing I'm thinking about. Screw it. Let's grab Berserk on Sir Humpert. And let's just make it sword mastery on Manifest Destiny's Child. If I chose one bro for that to be the case, it probably would be him, because his melee skill is, relatively speaking to the others, a bit lower, other than, I guess, Final Overdrive. But they're all so good. I mean, let's see, is the best sword I have this scimitar? I suppose it probably is. Let's do it. And we'll give him sword mastery. So we can attack with the sword for 8 fatigue. Pretty good. Cool. Alright, we will finally complete this contract. Returning our precious cargo to Tiefenstadt. What was it? We'll never know. We can fix this old broken nose on Eagledub. Look for some caravan rumors. So Dornheim's got nightmares or whatever. Alright. It's a decent sale price here. Wow. I guess it is a high tier city. We can take a look at what these contracts are. Deliver cargo to Sonstadt. Escort caravan to Wolf's Wall. Okay, Wolf's Wall is where we want to go because we're specifically wanting to go there and buy their dogs. So if we can get a caravan there and get it well stocked, that sounds great. Travel to Sonstadt. All right, yeah, so I'm gonna sell stuff here. This is a great sale price. So we'll go ahead and offload much of the random gear that we were accumulating off those nomads. Kind of pains me to just get rid of that winged mace. Yeah, whatever. And we'll get rid of the Lindworm blood as well. We could purchase nets with the intent of making reinforced throwing nets. I've got enough for the Monolith fight. We've got 5. That should be a good enough amount. Maybe a couple more could still be good, and they may have other uses in other, situations. So if I did want to craft those, I'd have to go back to Alhazred, where the alchemist is. That's probably fine. I have a feeling we're probably not going to bother with making light padding replacement, which is the other use of this gossamer. Light padding replacement is the attachment that can lower the fatigue cost of something, and it's usually to make armor suitable for a nimble brother, either through Nimble Forge or just straight nimble. But you have to fight Shrats for it, and I haven't fought any of those yet, and they're a little bit of a rare-ish enemy. And I think I'm happy to just use that gossamer to craft reinforced nets. So I'll buy 1 net per gossamer, so I can just craft with all of them. And then we are going to accept this contract to escort a caravan to Wolf's Wall. May as well. And there's random undead that might fight us, or might not. Okay. Wolf's Wall is well supplied. Wonderful. Buy some doggies. So I'm going to buy all the dogs with armor. Great. All right. And then we are also going to put the unhold hide onto one of the dogs as well. So we'll put the falcon on one of our mules for now. And we're going to equip a dog on everyone. Even though the Noxerer trophy necklace is still useful in the fight against the library, because the lore keeper, the big bad boss of that zone, does cast a horror skill, which does a resolve check that you can fail, and then you're frozen in place and you miss a whole turn, and that's really bad. So resolve is still really important. Dogs are just even more important for that fight. At least that's my assessment of it. So we'll buy some other stuff here. We'll look at the bros, even though we're pretty well done on the recruiting of bros. And, okay, so I think what I might do is, so we're gonna return back to All Has Read to do our little bit of final crafting before we do the Sunken Library. I'll sweep through this little bit of fog. We're just keeping up fight density is kind of the idea, so that everyone keeps high mood. So we want to take as many fights as we can so that we can enter that fight confident, so that we are able to maintain our resolve through all the horror checks that the library lore keeper, the librarian, is gonna inflict upon us. So we'll see if we can find some more fights here. I don't know why I say things like, can we see more fights? Because then, of course, you don't find any. But then here they are. Doing fights against the undead will also lower the clock on the Undead Crisis, which is good, because the Undead Crisis is kind of annoying, and we would like it to end sooner rather than later. Because, yeah, let's say, because of Possess, I'm gonna go ahead and spear wall up on everyone, even though I'm fast enough that, you know, I'll get the turn before him. Oh, okay. Reminds me of a quote from an MMA coach: never let your kid spar with someone better before a match. He'll lose confidence and go to defense when it comes down to it. Is kid the typical term to refer to like one of your students? I don't know. I guess what would... athlete? I don't know what the word is. But yeah, that's probably wise. Makes sense to me anyway. In any athletic endeavor throughout my youth, my confidence was always at an all-time low. Perpetually, chronically, forever. Because I sucked. That was an interview, so student slang. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. And it's probably like a term of endearment in that context too. Right, you refer to someone as your kid. Kind of implies you probably like him. Your boxing coach uncle had a lot of magazines lying around you'd read. Nice, that's cool. Very cool, in fact. Herd goats. You heard it right here, kids. That's funny. It's stupid, but it's funny, and that's what makes it great. Alright, can we get a mythical gun blast to take out a Geist? No. One of these days. Ho-ho! But we did whip a Geist, which is always a delight. XGI 8 with the mythical triple kill. You love to see it. Probably won't be necessary, but we'll shore up Friso's resolve up there. XGI 8! Look at him go! Look at him go! Every single one of them quivers. How wonderful. Oh, whoops. Alright, considering that, you know, all the enemies are dead, we'll push forward. I guess they were already dead. Undead, if you will. And there go the Geists. All that's left is the Necromancer and his single lackey. But the Necromancer is fleeing, so the bodyguards think that they're off duty. Okay, now all that's left is the Necromancer himself. He can try to flee. He may even succeed for a short while. But we're not gonna let him go. Oh no. In fact, we may allow the dogs to have this honor. I say we do. Get them, doggies. Good boys. Good little boys and girls. Not much for loot there. Kind of a pitiful camp, actually. But it was a fight, and the most important thing, again, is just keeping the mood high. We're trying to take fights as much as we can so that we can keep that high for when we hop on into the Sunken Library. Ideally. Woof. We're just gonna whiff when it comes to finding fights. Nox errors traveled through here recently. I guess we could chase those down. That would be fine. One of our rat catchers got us a net. Cool. Thanks, bro. Aha. Another opportunity to fight some ancient dead. We'll take it. We'll go ahead and swap the starting equipped weapon on our frontliners there. And we'll swap to some additional heavy throwing weapons for this disturbed mass grave, which we shall disturb even further and take out these undead. And we're gonna do, of course, the old classic, back up 2 hexes. Now we have all the more reason to back up 2 hexes. The air stinks. EELI, we might back up just the 1 so that he can participate with his big ol' heavy rusty axe. Backing up, backing up, backing up, backing up, 'cause my streamer told me so. I know that reference. I'm not sure whether I should be proud or ashamed, or whether you should be proud or ashamed, but here we are. My streamer taught me good. We can both be proud and ashamed. I mean, you feel how you want. I'm feeling both. Okay, so we've got a higher concentration in the north, so we're going to be a little mindful of Friso's condition up there. If it works, feels okay, man. Works for me. Was hoping for a kill there, didn't get it. Nice. Didn't know for sure if that would be enough damage. Could do that attack. Kind of rare that I ever want to, but I just did it. Alright, this is going pretty well. Blackfire can go up here just fine. He can stand in the miasma. He's got the Idrok helmet, after all. These poor little undead. They're crumbling. Can you believe it? Alright, they have done very little damage, which is good, because occasionally these ancient dead can do a number to you. But we've got enough burst damage that we took them out pretty easily, I would say. There's that horror ability mentioned previously that we'll expect to see more of from the lore keeper. The ancient priests, they've got it too. Horror is a hard word to say. Want to make sure I got my pronunciation correct, lest I be confused for offending those who are viewing. Can you imagine if I made a mistake? The horror. All right. Anyway, that fight went well. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. We got a veteran level on Deep Space Cowboy. Deep Space Cowboy kind of needs just a little bit of touching up on all of his primary stats, and so we're happy to do so. We'll just touch up all of them. And I guess I'll follow these Nox errors. These nachos. Because, you know, they're easy enough to fight with this team comp. We may as well. Gotta swap our weapons back. Whoopsie. Had neglected to do that. So I will need to do it now, but that's fine. We'll go ahead and hit as many nachos as we can. Okay. Come at me, nachos. They're all mostly going to wait now and see if they can get me to drop my spear wall. Spoiler, I won't. The spear walls are staying up, my dudes. Now they are going to be able to feast on that particular nacho unless I move Sir Humpert up. Or I can kill whoever goes to that hex before he munches down. We'll see. We'll see if I can get this one. And then that nacho, but I guess that probably just won't happen. That's fine. That one little guy can feast. And that'll be just fine. If we let them feast, they give more experience. But we still need to be somewhat careful in these big nacho fights. Team compositions without spears can legitimately face like danger in this kind of fight. But given our spears and all the guns, I'm sure we'll be just fine. Let's try to take out that one. Goodbye, sir. Okay. We're nearly there. Getting very close. Yeah, I think I just collapse down in melee range now. Prevent them from fleeing. At least as much as I can. Please. Mr. Nacho. Feast all you want. You're not getting away. Man, I'm still sort of fixated on this whole I'm backing up because my streamer told me so. How did you know how did I seem like the person that would recognize such a reference? Do I look like an old grizzled veteran of being on the internet? Do I look like I've seen the dark depths? I've been to the lemon parties, etc. Because unfortunately, I guess it's true. I do. All right. Okay. Fair enough. You don't need to all have to answer at once. You didn't answer a little more slowly. Also, hello, pups. Popsuda. Hello, hello. But yeah, I'm sure I do appear that way. It's not wrong. I'm a child of the internet. I grew up here. That's how my one of my good friends always referred to it. She said, "Oh yeah, I've been on the internet. Actually, I'm from there," which I was kind of liked. All right, we've got one of these fun, special types of fights that only happens during the Undead Crisis, where we've got a mix of foes. Kind of neat. You have a question because you've never tested it. How does riposte on a sword work with fear? Like fearsome? Well, it does work. You know, you will proc fearsome. I believe, and don't take this as a confident answer, because it's not. I think the way it works is that you can trigger riposte if an enemy attacks you multiple times. I think it is like the three-headed flail logic, where the first attack you can do 1 to 15 damage and proc fearsome, and then on the subsequent ones you have to do the full 15 damage to proc it, but you can proc it multiple times. That could be wrong. I'm not sure. I use riposte so infrequently that it's not something that I've sort of strategically considered. I am curious the answer, if anyone knows. If there's any code warriors in the chat, or, you know, I don't know, anyone who's just happens to know the answer from testing or whatever. The answer is do not build a bro that way. I mean, that's probably the real answer, but also hello Manifest Destiny chat. Let's go here. Nice. Nice. Gotta dip out some soon to do some work stuff, but you thought I'd drop by. Well, welcome, welcome. I hope the work stuff is good work stuff and not like someone broke something in the middle of the day and now I have to fix it type of work stuff. That work stuff is less fun. Luckily for me these days, if I'm doing work stuff after hours, it's mostly like, I just need to upgrade a server. Just have Sunday clients? Okay, yeah. That doesn't sound too bad then. But yeah, some previous work areas, weekend work meant I was on call and shit had hit the fan, where critical services for the operation of the place of business were being impacted and I needed to fix them. Morning from Australia, mate. The gunners you have looked so mean and the accent was so offensive. Well, good morning. Good morning, Hardy One. And yes, the gunners are mean. The funny thing is, as soon as I saw morning from Australia, mate, as soon as I saw mate, there was a hint to me that couldn't resist making that terrible, offensive, inaccurate Australian accent. I couldn't help it. Not the worst you've ever heard, but it's up there. That's probably kinder than you needed to be. Yeah, doing someone says where they're from, I immediately make a terrible and offensive accent for that particular region. It's somehow become a thing that I do. I should probably stop. But it is what it is. When I was living in Korea, there was a dude from the UK who was convinced he could do like a really good American accent. And no matter how much I told him that it was not even remotely accurate to any American accent whatsoever, he just wouldn't have it. All he did was add a lot of R sound to everything, and it was kind of obnoxious. Alright, well, luckily we have managed to find some good fight density here. Slurgy loses brain, sees country, neurons activate. Exactly. Exactly. It's like pure brainstem. Like, there's no conscious thought going on there. I see a country and I'm like, oh yeah, I can do a terrible impression of those people to offend them. Those people is how I stated it after all. You do have a brilliant Asian accent, but for some reason it is frowned upon in public. Some people have no taste. Well, Asia's a big place, and I can say that from Asian folks that I know, there's a pretty substantial difference to their resulting English, whether they're from Korea or Japan or, wherever. Which I suppose is true of, like, regions of any place too, right? I'm sure there's a different accent in Brisbane than there is in Sydney, for example. I'm assuming. I wouldn't be able to recognize either, but that seems like a safe guess. So what if it was from, what if you were from Pakistan, Slurgy? Well then I'd say welcome to the stream from Pakistan. I'm sure it's lovely, never been. Oh, I'm supposed to come up with a Pakistani accent. Oh no. I don't know that that one's in the, my neurons didn't activate. I don't know that I know that one. I don't know what a Pakistani accent sounds like at all, actually. Now maybe just more swear words, but no real difference. Okay. All I know is, one of the Australian buddies that I made when I lived in Korea, he said a word that's still like, it's not like terribly offensive, but like, I don't use the word cunt normally. I don't, that word, that's icky. That's very, you know, I don't know, entrenched in gender and like kind of offensive, but he would use it constantly, which was, I don't know, it was something. The C-bomb, yeah. I know. It is part of Australian culture. Ah, yeah. Well, there's a lot of things that are part of, a lot of cultures that I don't know. I suppose. To each their own, I suppose. Icky is the right word, yeah. It's just like, I don't know. The way I see it is, well, I don't know, whatever. I don't use the word. Not to my tastes. Where the hell did that other set of, there it is. There's these heavy throwing axes. Get down to the bottom of the inventory. We've managed to find pretty good fight density here, so hopefully the team will be euphoric, and then we can do the sunken library. Are the barb axes better than regular ones? Yes, actually. For most enemies, the heavy rusty axe will outperform a great axe. The only exceptions are completely naked enemies, because the great axe has higher raw damage, and extremely heavily armored enemies, because it will strip more armor, even though it will deal less direct hit points damage. But against basically anything else. So only at the very extremes, and even the extremes, I'm not sure how extreme the heavy armor has to be, and that's kind of in conjunction with other weapons too, is sort of the comparison. But when you're fighting like naked enemies, that one, you know, just is what it is. Roger, thank you. Hey, you're welcome. find this particular track of music, the Ancient Dead fighting one, is so good. I just like it. People are stans for the Barbarian one. This one's my favorite. Controversial opinion. But this one's real good. Bum 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 bum. That part's cool. It feels like such a, I don't know. It's good. It's just it's a good track. A little repetitive, especially for the longer fights, but don't go here, roll. You're the one here. True. I should only present the lukewarm opinions. It's safer that way. But no, I mean, I don't know. I don't think anything's more controversial than the dislike of fish and chips. That just feels incorrect. That still strikes me as so strange. Unless you just don't like seafood, then I guess, you know. You have PTSD from the song and your dude's getting poked to death by the stabby boys. Yeah, I mean, that's fair. That's that would be one valid reason to dislike it, you know. After all, at least for me personally, there's a lot of terrible music in the world that I have very positive memories with. And I kind of acknowledge, like, I know that it's not good music. Like, it doesn't have a lot to offer musically, but maybe it, you know, was important to me at a specific period of my life where I was young and dumb. Or something like that, you know? Hey, Bajante. Hello, hello. How's it going? We got some controversy brewing already. A little, friendly tiffs. Fun. All right. We're going to stop by All Has Read here. And, oh my, there's a lot of stuff going on here. A seasonal fair, mirage sightings, terrified villagers. Hunt down what kills people in the desert. Nah. Let's not just fight sentient sand for no reason. I am going to go ahead and make these reinforced throwing nets. Really, you have no idea. That's probably fair. I probably actually don't. But that's okay. The real question is did Artosis know what he was doing when he created the audience that he did? Did he know? Did he know he would create such a hive of villainy? Scum and villainy? What's the line from Star Wars? Controversial opinion, Fallout Tactics is the best Fallout. I don't know. There was a Fallout ARPG for the Xbox that was pretty good. God, what was that called? And was it the Xbox? What was that? Was it the PlayStation? Maybe the PlayStation 2? God, I need to know. Fallout Brotherhood of Steel. Dude, that game was great. I think people hated it, but at the time, I loved it. It was like a top-down isometric camera, like ARPG, like Diablo 2-ish style game, but it was with guns and stuff. I had fun. All right, the sale price here is still okay. I might hang on to some of my most expensive things and sell those elsewhere where they don't have the terrified villagers. But this is good enough for me to sell things, you know, some of the stuff. And so, if we're going to do the library, let's get set up to do the library. Brotherhood of Steel was not great. You know, I think almost everybody has that opinion. So, you know, I am truly alone in this one. All by myself. Now, to be fair, I didn't say it was a good game. I have no idea about that. I just said it was fun. You should play Fallout Tactics. I think you would like this game. Actually, that does, I mean, I like tactics games, so I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if you're right. You played through it like a year ago, you think? Nice. How old of a game is it? Oh yeah, dude, this looks awesome. 2001? Oh yeah. Okay, this does look good. All right, I'll check that out later. Who knows, maybe I will. There was a lot of good like tactics and strategy games from that time period. All right, I'm gonna use the restroom real quick and then we'll get the team geared up to fight the library. Be back one moment. All right, I'm back. So, the library. Broadly speaking, we want to have bros that can do a variety of different roles. We need bros that can go and snipe phylacteries, bros that can deal with all of the ancient dead on the front, bros that can maybe do some of each. So I've got kind of an interesting situation where we've got our spear duelist build, of which we have 4, where they are going to be good for DPS, but they're not going to, we can't let them get surrounded. They don't have that level of defenses, so we need to be somewhat mindful of that. The spears are going to be okay for fighting the like bounty treasure hunters or whatever they're called, but otherwise aren't that useful. So we're going to replace the spears with whips just for this battle. Interesting take on Fallout Tactics. Yeah, I'll at least check it out. It has indeed already become a classic. We've got enough ranged bros. The gunners maybe could be useful as gunners, but I think they'll be most useful as frontliners that turn into phylactery poppers. Nixlarfs as well, I think, is going to be a phylactery popper. So I think what I do is I don't think I'm going to bother with the guns at all for this fight. It's not that they're totally useless. They're actually not. But they're not quite there as far as how I want to make use of them. So, on all of those bros, we are going to put some throwing axes. So we'll go ahead and put the guns away. But we're going to start out with their chunky two-handed weapons equipped. Your nickname in your language means something broken. What language is that? I'm curious. Open yourself up to me making a terrible accent of you. Okay. The shield fatigue neutrals, their job is basically going to be stand in dangerous place, get attacked. We're okay with them just using their Warhammer for basically this whole time. Ah, Polish. Nice. I don't know what a Polish accent sounds like. Can't do that one. Don't know it. Can't offend you. Well, I mean, I can offend you. I'll just need to use other methods. We're going to put the whips as background weapons for the spear duelists. That way they can whoosh, 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 some skulls out of the air. We surprisingly can still make use of this Grizzly Avenger, this warbow, purely for the purpose of hitting skulls. Otherwise, the bundles of heavy throwing axes are going to be super useful here. Could probably just use all 3 heavy throwing axes here on XJI 8. Whip doesn't guarantee a one-shot skull, does it? Does it not? I was under the impression that it did. That might not be right. I was under the impression that whips would work on them in one shot. I'm fairly sure I've used them before, and that did work. Double gripped whips one-shot them, if you recall correctly. Yeah, I thought so. Yeah, it looks like they do. I thought so, but thanks for, you know, bringing that up. Add kurwa. Just insert classic American accent for Russians, example Soviets, and soften it up a bit. Et voila, Polish accent. That's fair. We don't know any individual is representative of an entire population. That's just not how it works. Nixlarfs is going to be a dedicated phylactery downer. He's going to have less utility than normal. Overwhelm is not exactly going to be, I don't know, something we care too much about in this particular fight. A smoke pot on the banner is actually probably a really good idea. I also don't hate having a net, specifically just to put on the lore keeper to make him a bit easier to hit and keep him in place. He'll never break out of it. So when it comes time to take him out, we're gonna have the banner throw the net. I don't think it's necessary to use many consumables for this fight. However, I am going to use one Lionheart potion on the banner because, well, the fear debuff is scary. That's basically, that's why. So I don't want horror to negatively affect too many bros, and if the morale starts dropping, he can rally and recover them. That's probably the only real major risk to this fight. So yeah, we've got throwing axes on several bros, such that we can take out the phylacteries. And I think that's basically all we need. The other thing I'll want to be mindful of is, you know, Deep Space Cowboy here in particular, like as an example. He's got 5 throwing axes. What if he misses all 5? Or what if he misses, what if he runs out of ammo, basically, when it's his time to down a phylactery? Could happen, so we'll need to make sure we've got some ammunition management. I don't think I'm going to do anything with their inventory slots. I still want to keep, you know, a big bonkin' chonkin' weapon alongside a reach weapon of some form. But we'll need to be mindful of ammunition. And I think that's basically it. There was one thing I was thinking, oh yeah, one more thing. Actually, I don't hate the idea of using the burb on someone. Let's put it on Nixlarfs. Nixlarfs is going to be one of our phylactery downers. And I think finding them more quickly and being able to take them out actually does have quite a lot of value. So I'm gonna put the Falcon on a bro. I don't know that I've taken a Falcon into the fight against the Lore Keeper, but I'm doing it now. So we'll go ahead and put weapons that I'm not using in on the mules. And I think that's basically it. I think I'm ready. Do I want to put anything else in the pocket of my little shield bros? No? I don't think so. Make sure we're stocked up on enough supplies, notably food. Cool. All right, let's go to it. To the library. The sunken library. We will do the fight during the day, so if when we reach there it's still nighttime, which it looks like it will be, obnoxiously, we'll wait for the day. No reason to take it at night. Perfect. Here we go. Rappel down into the dark. You ready for a 1 long hour fight? Me too. All right. So let's get our phylactery count. Yeah, that's funny. That's the text that was last there, which is very funny to me. Phylactery count 0. Is that how you spell phylactery? No, it's not. Phylactery. But we're looking to take down 10 of them. How does sunlight even get down into the sunken library after rappelling into the dark? I don't know. Incidental light through the hole you... I don't know. That's a good question. Just call them pots? Nah, they're phylacteries. Should I even be waiting here? That's not, you know, that's an interesting question. I think because of the likelihood of him just putting down miasma, probably the answer is yes. Yeah, because then we can just move out of it. At least on most bros. We don't have to move out of it, like, on everyone. Akibio, for example, could spend a turn there, and it'd be fine. Okay, so I maybe should have had Nixlarf start up at the top of my formation and maybe someone else at the bottom. But in any case, we're gonna have him look for phylacteries near the top of the map. So we'll send him up there. Oh, that ruins is in the way. He can't see that lost treasure hunter. Still couldn't hit him either. Let's see. Sir Humpert's got really low hit points. I kind of don't want to have him stand on that hex. I might have Manifest Destiny's Child do that. We'll move Sir Humpert to here. Again, I don't have to be in such a rush to get forward. We want to make sure we engage properly. We're like kind of on a timer, but it's not a super strict timer. So we don't need to be too crazy about it. This is before day 100, so notably, Ancient Dead do not have polearm mastery yet. So we can count on them not being able to attack if they need to move 2 hexes, if they're attacking with a pole weapon. You know how many ways you can say "you're" in Polish? Oh my goodness. That seems impossible to keep track of. An Adler here I'm going to keep in the center of the formation despite it being in the miasma. I don't think we need to do the Falcon here. We can keep moving forward. Though maybe I should wait and let these Ancient Honor Guard move forward. Yeah, let's send Blackfire forward 1 hex, maybe 2. I guess I don't quite want to tie up this exactly in that location. Let's move him forward 1 and wait. We'll see how the Ancient Honor Guard move. Yeah, okay. Let's move XJI-8 out of the miasma. I could put a dog down just to help with combat. Use the AP efficiently. I don't know if that was a good idea, but it's what I did. Okay, and let's move Akibio all the way up, far forward. Same deal here. I think we can put a dog down just to help with combat. Surround bonuses and such. I think that's totally fine. Have you ever done Black Monolith solo character? Is that kind of... That is not my style. Not interested. You have to create such an ultra... Like, the gameplay to get there is just... I'm more interested in treating the game a bit more like a roguelike kind of type of style. Okay, we're going to keep moving forward there. These guys made the air inhospitable. Could put a dog down to eat this Ancient Honor Guard's cleaver attacks. That's one reasonable way to use the dog. I mean, it's possible, but it's possible under some like silly, some, I won't really call it unrealistic. It's sort of like very contrived circumstances. Like with the cultist armor and alchemist potions and stuff like that. It's not a way I am interested in playing the game, I'll say that. Okay. Do I move Eagledub forward into that hex? Oh, I can't anyway. Oh, right. Eagledub does not have... Yeah, he's only level 9. Okay. Was end turn right there. I don't love where Offa is right now. I'm sort of stuck further back than I'd like to be. I want him further forward. Oh well. Move Final Overdrive there. And should I put Friso here? Really need more damage in this little part of the battlefield. It's like a little bit of a dangerous spot for him to be. Not way dangerous, but like a little. It's at least a random spot where there's not miasma. One of the few. Yeah, I'll go ahead and put him there. Again, we'll use the dog for combat. Doing a bit more of that than usual. That might not be good, but we'll see. Alright, we'll go ahead and release the Falcon. Take a moment to take in our surroundings and where the phylacteries are. So currently, I'm confident there's none over here or down here. So we've got 5 that we know of their location. Cool. Release the what? I don't know, the bird. The bird, what, falcon? Did I say falcon? I don't know what I said. Whatever it is. Whatever it is or isn't. I don't know. I could release a dog just to take out this phylactery. How bad would it be if I don't have dogs for when the skulls start being unleashed? It's not that bad. I have the whips too. Let's wait though. These guys don't have a good attack right now. If I move forward, they do. That's so close to lethal. Wow. He said, screw you guys down there in particular. Let's take out this Ancient Honor Guard there. Or not. Let's just look at him, I guess. Let's attack that guy with the Crypt Clavier when he moves forward. Oh, the little L with the line through it. You'll have to forgive me for referring to it as such. Ooh, and the banner takes a big hit. Banner takes another big hit. Banner is going to have to back up and play obnoxiously safely. Alright, phylactery count. Let's update it. 1 is down. No one has. I didn't say nothing. Alright, how much AP does Manifest Destiny's Child have? He has all 9, so he can attack here. Do I just release another dog? Another phylactery down. Phylactery count 2. You are self-aware. Not everyone is. I'm not always. Oh, and now I don't have the... But... Shoot. Getting some bouts of bad luck at a time where you don't want it. Phylactery count update again. Now to 3. Skulls will probably start spawning here shortly. We're gonna go ahead and miss some 95% attacks. You know, normal stuff. The only thing you're a master at is useless knowledge. I know that feeling. I know how that goes all too well. Guess I'd take both those attacks. We'll go ahead and miss them both. You know, just because we can. Could go down here and rally. I cannot. .25 fatigue. If we move down there, we won't have enough fatigue to rally. I might just end the turn right here then. Sure. Alright, Deep Space Cowboy is in actual danger. Ish. I don't know, kind of? Regardless, we'll move him to a slightly safer location. Okay, that was good. Boy, do we put Final Overdrive here all by his lonesome back there? I suppose we can get Sir Humpert nearby as well. This looks a little worrisome. Yeah, it does actually. I agree. We're not off to the strongest of starts. We're really not. Okay. That's not good. Bad ones to miss, all in a row. All right. So we are going to need to rally to get a Kibio back rolling. We can't do it yet. Or I guess I could go here and do it. Yeah, I may as well do that. Can't move forward to get in range of these Ancient Honor Guards. Didn't rally him. Well, shit. Sir Humpert, though. That was really good. Do I push XJ8 forward through the skulls towards the phylacteries? Someone's got to. Deep Space Cowboy can join him. Hello, Casario. Yeah, let's go. Let's see what we can do. If we take out this skull, we will get and actually, this might be an example. So, this is less AP because of the reduced AP cost on this bow, alongside bow mastery. Never thought I'd say that, but it's pretty good in this fight. Boy, Akibio breaking just really sucks. Just really sucks. Do I release this dog now? I want the dog to go down that way. No, let's just move him forward. Black Fire is still in really good shape, as is Offa. I could get in melee range with this cleaver on Black Fire so it can't attack Final Overdrive or Sir Humpert. That feels like a good idea. So let's just move him there. We get Friso up to attack this Honor Guard next turn. Kibio fled successfully. I guess that's good? I don't know. Alright, Nixlarfs is in a bit of a sticky... He's in a, you know, he could be in a better spot. Phylactery count up to 4. Nixlarfs finds himself in a bit of a position, huh? Right. Okay. Phylactery count up to 5. So we know there's 2 here, so that's 6 and 7. So the other ones are still back there. Let's rally, try to get Akibio back to the action. Thank you, Akibio, for joining us. Kind of feel like I have to take out this treasure hunter. Do you always destroy them ASAP? The alternative approach would be spreading out first and then doing them in quick succession. Well, there's also a timer, so I try to do a bit of I guess it's not really a mix. I don't have a ton of experience doing it super slowly, but he will start summoning skulls after a certain number of rounds have passed, even if you don't take out any phylacteries. So that's not, I don't know, maybe it is the better approach overall, but there is a downside to it. Okay, Final Overdrive used about all his fatigue there. Let's see. Do I get Deep Space Cowboy here to attack this Ancient Honor Guard? Or do I move him forward to help with phylacteries? Nixlar, so we're just gonna move forward. He'll have to eat a couple exploding skulls. Uh-oh. Oh no. My game is unresponsive. My game is frozen. Yeah. Well, this sucks. Well, I guess I restart the fight. Fight's good. Actually, I don't think the fight's going that bad, honestly. I would say genuinely it's looking pretty okay right now. Like, all seriousness. Well, this is annoying. That's a... Well... Yeah, I'm not... Phylactery count. 0. That's a rare bingo. Yeah. I guess we'll start it over. That's stupid. Does it save at the start of a fight? This happens... This... Okay, it does. I'm assuming? Yeah, okay. Whatever. We'll start it over. Let's consider it a win and do another run. No, we'll play it straight. Look, what you gonna do? I don't know. I can't control that. This battle will, of course, play out differently. There's no way around it. The RNG, the rolls will be different. It already starts out worse. That's for sure. So. It feels so unsatisfying that happens. Yeah, yes. Like, it just feels gross. I don't know. Just very unsatisfying. But we'll play it again, I guess. What else are you gonna do? Okay. It'll be a similar overall arc. As what just happened. Just, you know, everything will be a little bit different. He really hates those bros in particular. I don't know why. Morale's still looking good. Everyone's confident and such, which is good. Similar to last time, we are going to get Nixlarfs up and moving around the top part of the map. Overall strategy remains the same. So go and move Akibio forward, given that he's confident. I think that's a safe move. You thought the battle would be long at 1 hour. Now we'll see a lot of it twice. Okay, we'll put a dog down just to help me attack. Blast that Ancient Honor Guard. Crack him wide open. Could put a dog down on Eagledub to help with combat here. I think that's worth. Improve our hit chance. It was a bit low. Could move here just to occupy all of these. It's probably worth. Blackfire is pretty tanky after all. We'll definitely get someone next to Akibio here to help him out. We can put a dog down just to give this Ancient Honor Guard with the Cleaver, the Crypt Cleaver, something to attack that isn't one of our bros. Oh, surprising, I just rotated. Never mind. Alright, we'll move Nixlarfs forward, and we'll get him in position to take out some phylacteries. Hey! First live stream and it's straight to the library? Alright! Hello, Nixlarfs. You've got a very important and special mission. You're heading up to the north to snipe phylacteries. Excellent. Let's see, do I push Adler forward? I guess there's one spot of no miasma here. Right, I'm on the job. That's right. Oh, what character is that? What unit is that? I recognize that. I definitely... I know that. The medic! Yes, of course. Thank you, Zephyr. Could put a dog on this Ancient Honor Guard. Might not though, might save the dogs. Oof. Got our Lost Treasure Hunters raising up already. Sir Humbert, you know, with his weakened heart and 63 hit points, will need to be careful. He is going to end this turn in miasma, but you know what? He did a good job. Let's just move XJI forward. And manifest Destiny's Child as well. Let's have the banner take out that treasure hunter. And I guess end turn in the miasma. 64% chance to hit. Not terrible. We could bump it up with a dog. Let's just go with that as is. Ooh, that Ancient Honor Guard is so close to dead. Alright, let's get a bit further forward and then throw our axe and start popping these phylacteries. We do have the eagle. Falcon? Hawk. The bird. Caca. Anyway, we'll release that at some point too. I think realistically I don't actually need to release that until I'm a little further forward when things are looking a bit more dicey and I just need information on the edge of the map. Destroy the pots equals win? Yeah, there she quotes a video game character. Yeah, so destroy the pots means that the lore keeper will not be able to resurrect. If you defeat the lore keeper prior to destroying all the phylacteries, he just rises back up. Which, for obvious reasons, is bad. It's fun when you miss one too. Well, we'll be keeping track. There are always exactly 10. So, we are safe in that knowledge. If he resurrects, does it remove one factory at least? Yeah. But, they're a lot easier to take out, like, you know. They're a lot easier to take out than the lore keeper. Dang it. Alpha, you failed. Don't do that. Alright, at least the guy missed. And we'll just push everyone forward for some surrounds. We'll have to be a little careful with Eagledub still. Alright. And let's let the lore keeper take his turn before we start cracking open the phylacteries. How about that? That seems like a good idea. XJI 8 with the sniper shot. Okay. So we've taken out none of the phylacteries, but we've got view of 5 of them. I will want to move Adler out of the miasma. He won't take the damage if we wait, so we'll just hold there for now. Let's see, I kind of need to decide who's going to occupy what hexes. I could send Sir Humpert down with the whip to accompany XJI 8 through to blast these lower phylacteries on this sort of southern section of the map. If you could make a mod without changing mechanics and adding perks, that phylacteries are scattered all over the world and each one is a different challenge. It's kind of a cool idea. I like it. Alright, I think it'll be Alpha and Akibio that'll occupy these two hexes. Deep Space Cowboy will also move down yonder. And maybe Eagledub will need to go elsewhere as well. Alright, let's start the process. Phylactery count. 1. Phylactery count. 2. Given the confidence of everyone, I'm less afraid of the horror, so I might just pull out the bill hook and attack. It's probably pretty unlikely to hit even. Maybe I'll just save the fatigue. It's probably better. Probably better to save the fatigue. And we'll move Manifest Destiny's Child off of the miasma. The resurrection will happen, you know, here relatively soon as well, so I can have him ready to just, you know, attack stuff. Phylactery count. 3. Good boy. Phylactery count. 4. The resurrection has occurred. Phylactery count. 5. Do I still send Sir Humpert that way? Now that I think about it, maybe Deep Space Cowboy would be better suited. Or Eagledub, given that he's already hurt. Did we hear anything about when the upcoming content will be released? I don't have any details, but I do know that there is a contract developer who chats frequently in the Battle Brothers like unofficial Discord, I guess. Not the overhype one. But he has been he's made it clear that it's happening. He hasn't given too much detail. I don't think he can, for obvious reasons. But he hasn't given any dates or anything like that. Okay. This looks like a pretty good place to eagle, actually. Aha! And I'm kind of glad I did. This one way over here, that'd have been an easy one to miss. Okay, so. Yeah, it's happening is pretty good confidence. Honestly, I'm just happy that there will be something. It might just be a patch. I don't know that it'll be new DLC. Who knows? I mean, some people know. I don't know. Anyway, so we've taken out 5 phylacteries. We can double check that with the corpses on the battlefield. Looks like we've got the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't think I've missed one. So 6, 7, 8. So there's 2 more that must be down in the corner over here. It'd be nice if that had a jungle. It would be cool. I'll give you that. Jungle biomes in most games are pretty cool. As long as they don't lean too hard into the Amazonian tropes. Can sometimes be a bit much. Ooh, that lightning blast is... I don't like it. I don't like that. Alright, we're gonna end our turn in the miasma, and that's fine. We're gonna wait here and release a dog and hope the dog goes after that apparition, I'm thinking. Boom, phylactery count, growing, 6. Could move forward and release a dog to deal with this Lore Keeper's apparition. Seems like a good idea to me. Deep Space Cowboy could go after this phylactery, and on his way, release a dog to deal with this Lore Keeper's apparition. Alright, Eagle Dub is pretty hurt, so we need him to get out of here. Took a hit to the head, too many. That's an unfortunate miss there. Alpha, he can take this lightning blast. That's no big deal. At least for him anyway. I'll put this dog down. Hopefully that dog can eventually go after that Lore Keeper. Okay, so we're gonna go after this one way in the corner. That feels like an important one for Nyxlarfs to go after. Good boy. Friso is gonna get blasted by lightning. Is what it is. Yeah, I do think fighting in like cities in this game would be really cool. I agree. I think that would be a cool addition. Alright. We're gonna put a net on the Lore Keeper. He's no longer able to go anywhere. He was basically locked in place anyway. But now he really can't go anywhere. We've got the Withered condition here on XJI 8. Minus 50% damage. I hope he can still take out a phylactery. I don't actually know. Okay, and we've got vision of a couple more phylacteries. We have vision of all 10 right now. So the last remaining 4 are all along the right side here. Alright, now Black Fire. I may as well move up and start chonking on the Lore Keeper. We're gonna do a big ol' destroy armor hit. He doesn't have much armor, but we destroyed it. I don't know that they removed the morality system. It just doesn't do much. think there's a couple places in the game where it still does something. What group of weapons in this game do I consider the worst? Bows? Bows. Good boy. No, yeah, hey. Yeah, Toxic Wild Hog, congratulations. Yeah, sorry I didn't see your message right when you exclaimed it, but that's awesome. Hell yeah. Mad props. I have no concern, honestly, about, I don't know. I guess I reserve the right to change my mind on this, but I'm happy for people to, within reason, you know, what's the word? Talk up yourself, advertise for yourself, whatever. Advocate for yourself, care about yourself, it's all good. Advocate for yourself? None of those words are right. None of them are what I'm going for, but whatever. And we've got some skulls. Nice. Attacking Deep Space Cowboy. Let's bring up the phylactery count to 8. And we'll close in on the last 2. Promotion. That's the word I was looking for. But yeah, I don't have any rules against self-promotion. I'm happy for people to share the cool shit they're doing. Within reason. Boy, I guess I could take out that one. Phylactery count 9. How do you like the whips against the skulls? I guess we'll see. I haven't actually whipped one yet. Presumably will soon. Boy, I guess I should just get in position to take out the last one. And we gotta hurry up and get some damage on this ding-dang lore keeper. Leave the banner out. Alright, we're getting some good damage on him now. He may elevate himself 3 hexes. He's done that to me previously. I love how the camera just pans everywhere. It's like, yeah, stuff is happening all over. Okay, this attack should be safe. It's not gonna kill him. I think a regular attack here is safe. We will stop. Nixlarfs. Well, you're kind of in a tough spot, huh? I guess run. Let's whip a skull. Pretty satisfying. And can we just take this one out? No, of course not. Of course not. So what do you dislike about Zerk plus Flingy plus Forge plus Recover? Is it that there's always something better you can do with it? You need almost perfect bros and gears for it to work. Mostly the latter. And even when you have a really godly bro that can do that, you've created, all you've done is make a bro who's really good at everything, which, you know, sounds like something that should be an endorsement, but it's better to have some amount of separation of duties, where there's damage bros and then there's tanky frontline bros. And also just the previously mentioned, you know, realistic expected attributes or whatever you can get. And Eagledub can, in the future, throw an axe and snipe the lore keeper from his little cliff, from his little hill. Stat and perk allocations are so awkward on those kind of bros though. Yeah, I mean that's the thing, is like, to be able to pull off all of those perks, you really, I ask you, what does your final build look like? And is it actually better than a bro that has gifted? Oh, at first I thought the game locked up, but it's, oh, that made me nervous. We did have, just so everyone in chat is aware, a game crash near the start-ish of this fight that was, you know, obnoxious. Nothing I can do about it. And we did have to Alt F4 and start out, or restart. Is what it is. This run, and the thing that's annoying about it is that it was going fine, but this one is going better, which I kind of want the real one to be the one that was looking worse, but this one is actually looking really good. Whatever, streak over, yeah. I mean, you know, in all seriousness, it is annoying though, because I do want there to be some, I don't know, I care about the legitimacy of it. I really actually do. You like recover on banners if you really have to rally, but like the fatigue, it's a wasted round anyway. Well, I feel like I'm such a, there we go, phylactery count, 10. I'm such a resolve stan that it's only very few fights where I would ever need to use recover on my banner. Boom. And the lore keeper is dead. Now all we have to do is manage the remaining lore keeper's apparitions and skulls, of which there are many, but not insurmountably many. Boy, this is an amount of being zoomed out that is almost uncomfortable. I kind of love this though. This battlefield is so big. This is crazy. I like can't even hardly find where the 5% chance to hit. Thought it would happen. It didn't. You marked fight spice level dangerous, but feel like you might have to unmark it now. Turns out it wasn't too bad. Well, I like to play it, so the sort of philosophy that I'm approaching this game from is, and the whole reason I'm doing this Winstreak series is I wanted to demonstrate that it is, RNG is not out to get you, and that every run within, you know, normal bounds of reasonable expected outcomes is winnable. Every single one. And so that's the whole reason I'm doing this Winstreak, is a variety of different playstyles, a variety of different, you know, whatever, bros, builds, every single origin, to demonstrate that it is not only possible, but here's how you can do it on every single origin with totally different playstyles, playing it like a roguelike, because those are my favorite games. I love strategy games, and you know, for me, Slay the Spire is like a great game, almost a perfect game. Dota's also really great. Mark your bingo cards. But anyway, so, you know, I want to treat it kind of like a strategy game. And how exactly do I even put this? Oh no, actually, hey, you're not supposed to miss. But yeah, just to show it like a strategy game with like sort of set objectives instead of the RPG type aspect. Have I had something kill the streak yet? Not this streak. This one is still going, hence streak 5. I do actually have, when I very first started streaming, it was because I was already in the middle of one, because this is how I was playing the game anyway. But I didn't have video proof of the first 4. But you can see the conclusion of the previous streak on my YouTube, where I just took a really stupid fight with gladiators. Totally stupid. Needlessly stupid. Attacking necrosavants, yeah, day 8. Yeah, it was something like that. It was totally... it was not smart at all. It was way overconfident. You got a ranged attack 3-star hunter on your own with something spicy to cook up with that? Let me tell you, the spiciest weapon in the whole game. Oh, I don't have them equipped. Anyway, it's the gun. I love gunners. Cook yourself up a wonderful, wonderful gunner. If they've got good initiative, you could make them an overwhelmed gunner. And Slurgy, do you like the idea of randomish perks and Reforged as a roguelike enjoyer? It intrigues me. Yes, actually. I do like the idea of it. I am intrigued. I like the idea of randomish perks. I don't know that they're necessary in this game. Like, there's enough other stuff that's random, but I like the idea, actually. I've heard good things about Gordian Quest. I have heard very good things, in fact. You're playing Reforged now. I've had a lot of fun. Yeah, well, yeah, I saw you streaming it, actually. I think? Question mark? Right? Am I remembering this correctly? I rated you, right? Is this true? Am I making this up? I think that's true. You don't think the bounce is quite right yet? You snowball too hard? That is kind of something I'm worried about. So, these things are all true, okay. It was like having a Mandela effect. It was like, I told myself it was true, and then I was like, but wait, what if it isn't? I personally hate too much randomness. See, I kind of like the I really appreciate how this game has like true RNG rolls. it does not try to make the RNG how people imagine RNG to work. So in other words, it doesn't smooth out the RNG. It doesn't say, oh, you missed a 50% attack. We're going to make it so that we normalize to always hitting 50% of the time over the long run, given that miss. They don't do that. And I like that they don't do that. Yeah, no pity RNG. Let's see, let's get up here and take out these final apparitions. Just the one left. Let's move everyone towards that area. Can we shoot the apparition with a bow? No. Chance 24? Huh. The hell sort of range defense do they have? Apparently not like a Geist. Oh yeah, 78% chance to hit with a... Well, it used to be milk. You just dislike when they shove too much shit in there. What's the thing you said about interesting choices emerge from simple design? Yeah, my favorite things is when there is depth without complexity, right? So if you can make, like a game like, I'm not good at this game, but Go or Paduk or whatever, the like East Asian game with stones, that game has a very simple rule set, super simple, and it is wildly deep. And I think that's awesome. I love when games can be like that. Boom. And the library is down. We have in our possession the Black Book. Here's what we're not gonna do in this run. Sell it. We're not gonna sell it. The vendor will not have the, well, we will sell it, but we'll sell it to some shady person who reads it after a bro goes mad. No salad. Shouldn't have sold that. Oh my god. I can't believe I did that. I still can't believe I did that. It's kind of unreal to me that I did that. But do you have a cultist or historian? No, not at the moment. I'll need to get one. So we will sweep the map looking for a cultist or historian. Actually, what we're going to do is look for a historian, because the cultist has to be level 9? I can't remember off the top of my head, but the cultist has to be a higher level to read the book, whereas the historian only has to be level 2. Yeah, I think the RNG in Battle Brothers to me is like really good. There's enough rolls that it normalizes nicely, but there's also few enough rolls can cause a bad situation that you have to react to it. To me, it strikes the perfect balance, like whether by accident or brilliance, Overhype got there. And that's, I think, it's pretty incredible. Upcoming Giga Chad sits on the bench. True, but they'll only sit there while we level a historian to 2. But we do have a bunch of Giga Chads, for sure. All right, so EELI. Let's see. Let's go ahead and grab Battleforge on him. And just for peace of mind, we'll swap his helmet now. EELI has a knack for getting these flat tops with mail. Just blasted only in the head. This has happened a few times now. But that's okay. He hasn't needed to use his 9 lives yet. Akibio, frontline gunner. We're just gonna pump all these stats on the right side. Wonderful. And Offa. We'll grab attack, defense, and hit points? Maybe resolve? Maybe resolve. All right, and we'll set the team back together as, whoops, whoa, 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 whoa. As they should be. So let's grab the fighting spears and other spears and get those equipped. Okay. Why don't you have the armor indicator mod? And why don't you have auto reset gear? What is the armor indicator mod? I'm actually not sure what that is. And the reason, and I assume you mean the auto like repair gear, it is because one of those, no repairing items exclusively for resale. There's nothing cheesy about that, to be clear. Some of my rules are like the wiederganger cheese, like killing a wiederganger as it resurrects over and over again. That to me is clearly, you know, exploitative. Repairing items for resale, not exploitative, but I like not doing it because it lengthens out the part of the game I consider the most fun and most interesting. And a little bit of economic disincentive to do that, to me, is fun. Also, when I was first learning the game, like, I didn't know that that was possible. And so I'm kind of almost making this for myself a little bit of like, if me as a new player could watch this and make full sense of it. Armor indicator has a green icon next to the bros if armor is damaged. Oh, okay, interesting. No, I'm not opposed to that. That sounds actually kind of cool. And hello, Grib. Grib322. The classic Dota feeding number. We just took out the library. Has it ever been relevant to repair an item at an armorsmith in town? It has. We have done it. It's not super common, but we've definitely done it. I try to keep backups of armors that I can swap into instead, so I don't need to do that, because it's expensive. But I have done it. I'm sure it's happened in this Winstreak series at some point. Undoubtedly. I don't remember when, but I'm sure it's happened. It comes up often enough that I'm sure it has. If it hasn't, that would be weird. All right, I think I got everyone reconfigured how I want them. And so I'm gonna head back to All Has Red, and then we're gonna sweep through the southern cities to prepare to take on more goblins so that we can do the Goblin City. Oh, there's a hidden camp. How apropos in its naming. Oh, and I suppose, actually, we need to figure out doggies and other attachments or accessory slots. Okay. I'm gonna be putting the Noxerer trophies on basically just those that have the lower amounts of resolve. Maybe not XGI 8 though. Because he doesn't need it. Okay, cool. Now that you no longer have the closed male coif, can you have a huge mustache and a smirk if we happen to pass by a barber? Yeah, I know exactly the face you're talking about. Absolutely. Yes. It'll be a hot minute till we get to one of those. But yes. If we do a caravan to a town with a barber, we can get a famed mustache for Nick's Larfs. It'll be the Snidely Whiplash, like the curly Q one. God, that would be great. That would be... I wish that existed. And, look at this. Hidden Camp has a fighting spear. We still want them. We'll need to be mindful of XJ8's hit points. Yeah, I'm gonna go on the assumption that we're gonna take that outlaw out without too much issue. Assumption correct. Okay. Again, gotta remember, not everyone's full health here. We're gonna have to be very careful to keep XJI 8 safe and healthy here. Although this mustache isn't too bad, maybe a darker hair color would make it stand out. It's that, I feel like there's a cartoon character that's kind of like loosely, that reminds me of. I can't think of what it is. Maybe not a cartoon. Maybe it's a movie or video game? It reminds me of something. Which I realize is the most generic and non... that statement means nothing. But it reminds me of something. Like an old Western movie. I don't know. Maybe the at the beginning of The Big Lebowski, that like cowboy dude that talks to the dude. Doesn't he kind of have one of those? Oh, he's got a broken leg. Right. Burn leg. Alright, we cannot throw there. My life is a teenage robot? What is that? It's a cartoon? I don't know what that is. Does someone in that have a mustache like this? Boy, they are circling ominously like sharks around XJI 8 in the background. And I don't like it. Not one bit. He's hurt. But we can't allow them to attack him. Ooh, random undead. Okay, don't shoot in that general direction. Don't do it. Oh, I shouldn't have attacked that one. Now the... Yeah. Whoops. I let the leader finish that guy off. Not good. Cartoon, the character is XJ9. Oh, yeah. No, I got you. There's a person in chat, XJI 8. Sorry. And I was looking at something else briefly. You did find a max -3 fat per use bow. It'd be a bit sad not to use it. Yeah! You should use it then. Can undead use ranged weapons? You've never seen it happen? I don't think so. I think if a zombie resurrects from an enemy with a ranged weapon, I think they just use their fists. I feel like that's what's happened in the past. But I can't recall for sure. It's not every day there's an undead crisis. I think bows are underwhelming in vanilla, but they're good enough when you have a good one. Early warbow, good famed bow. 100% agree. I think they are a weapon that it is a bad idea to build around one for no reason, but it is a good idea to build around a good named variant that you find. I feel like that's generically true, though, to an extent. With any named variant, you know, I am openly, vocally known as a cleaver skeptic, but I recognize when there's a good cleaver, especially like you get a guaranteed drop from the barbarian madman if you fight him. Some of those are going to be good, and you should use them. So here's a perfect example. Wiederganger Nomad Archer. He just doesn't get the ranged weapon. You love orc cleavers? Yeah, like if you get a good one. For sure. Orc cleavers do wildly high amounts of damage. And if you get a good named orc cleaver, you should use it. Absolutely. Even a generic one is good enough. I think if you have, so it's great as a tempo weapon, so I'll agree with that. If you have a wild man with gobs of fatigue, then sure. I'll give you that. I think that's totally valid. But I think it's got such a high fatigue requirement. It's pretty hard to justify without at least there being something special. But, you know, I don't know. It's probably still fine. On day 40, you rolled a max damage, max armor ignore scimitar, max damage cleaver, and a max damage. Holy buckets. I would probably choose the scimitar. Again, as a cleaver skeptic. As a cleaver non-enjoyer. Even I would do that. Alright, I will sell the non-expensive items here. I'll just sell everything except for the trade goods and the sellable goodies here. Oh, and I can put some of these things back in the backpack. Cool. All right, well, I think this is a good place for me to call it, because I am gonna be going to play some D&D with my buddies. So, we're gonna raid Slug Zoo, looks like he's playing. He's a delight, not terribly dissimilar content from my own. We'll see what he's up to. He's at day 102, so not too far off where I'm at as well. So to all of you, have a wonderful day or night, wherever you are. Ta-ta.